34.
Remember that song? Do you remember that song? Actually, it was like what was the French lovemaking song? I remember I bought like one of the first Now 23 or something, one of those albums, and there was a song on it, and it was just like a house song, but it was just a woman saying
Now 23 is really showing your age there.
Tell me you're old without telling me.
Yeah. Now 23.
Now 34. But I just remember buying it, and then that song was on the album, and like me and my dad were just driving back from the shop, and that song came on, and I never spoke to my dad about sex or anything, and it was just like, it's very cloudy out today, isn't it? And there's a woman in the background just being like,
Yeah, check the link below for we can't play it or we'll get the whole show will get taken down.
I went to Cork one time with my family, and we're driving back, and I bought Chef Aid from South Park, Chef's live album or something.
Oh yeah.
Coming back and play my CD, right? So I had to put it on anyway, and it's like, suck my chocolate salty balls. There's all these innuendos, the worst possible. And, all right, I'll take it back. Give me the CD. I'll listen to it later.
I used to have a buddy too. He was like, he's the biggest temper I know. We would go to like a bar, a club, and if he didn't like the music, he would just put in his own headphones.
Oh my god.
And he'd just sit there. And he used to get very angry, and he was very pro-Ireland, anti-English, and he'd sit there. Fair. He'd sit there with a big jacket on, just listening to IRA songs.
Oh my god.
And we were like, what do you do? We used to take the piss. He's like, I'm having a nice time. Just leave me and my pint alone. And the whole club, it was like a student club. It wasn't like a let's go for a quiet one. It was a rowdy place.
Yeah, like
and he'd just be sitting there and they're like, is he okay?
That sounds like a movie character, honestly.
Oh yeah.
He sounds like a full that's amazing.
He's one of the most politest men ever.
Hello. Is it? Not your uncle or something?
No, he was just a buddy. It was like
a friend of yours.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Dude,
but
I have two of those friends.
We'd be driving along, and he'd love listening to Boys to Men. He loved the soulful "Mama, I know, I love," and the song. Sometimes his CD would skip, and I would just be in tears. I'd be sweating, laughing, because if it started skipping, I could see him going like twitching.
What is you can see like it goes bubbling and like his head's getting redder and he's like,
but he's also singing like "Mama."
So he's like soothing, but then he's becoming more angry, and it's like, damn, CD's skipping.
And then he's just like, it's just a dirty CD. It was like the CD was embarrassing him in front of me, and he'd take it out and he'd rub it down, and he'd put it back in, and he'd be like, pleasant as fuck. He'd be like, here we go again, Mama.
All right, one more time.
And it'd skip, and he'd just fucking snap. And he'd get the CD and he'd fling it out the window. And I hit a car one time, and this woman's like, why are you throwing CDs at my car? And he's just like, shut your mouth, you cunt.
Jesus Christ. He had anger issues, this fella, did he?
Unbelievable.
Is he still with us?
Yeah, he's still around, right? He's got a kid now and stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Can't remember where that story started. But welcome, Peter. How's
Thank you. This is good. This Dezo spiked watermelon water is actually pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah, it is. They're giving us a fridge for next week in here.
No gluten. Not that I care, but
I think I do have a gluten problem.
Really?
I'm just like, that's not a thing in Ireland, so it's like my stomach's been upset since I've been about 13.
I don't think it's a gluten problem. I think it's an amount. I think it's the amount of gluten.
My face.
Mama. Fucking CD.
I need to get someone on here with severe anger issues, because that'd be funny to trigger.
Yeah, that's not me. Not this week.
Plus, also, I'd have to know him, because if I didn't know him, I would just be like, this is awesome.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be winding him up and, might ruin this nice new bar that you have.
Oh, yeah. That'd be if he started smashing the bar,
that would be sick.
Just sit here.
That would be awesome. Especially
because it's a new set. I hope the listeners like the new set.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Shout out to Wolf.
Take it in with all your ears.
Yeah. Stunning set. Where are we talking about? Oh, yeah, before we came on, we were saying... So
you're not going to describe it to the listeners?
Just go look at it on YouTube.
Okay, good idea.
It's a bar. It's like an Irish bar. It's wood.
Yeah.
It's wood on wood.
That's perfect.
And the Guinness sliders really make it feel like home.
The same two ones.
We got some fan art from Gonzo's Universe. It's stunning.
I love it.
Oh, we got the sign. That's nice.
It's beautiful. It's honestly a beautiful song. It's really beautiful.
This is Anfield sign going through.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
You have to touch.
Fucking beautiful. Makes me cry.
Good description.
But here, you wear a lot of baby powder too.
Yes.
This is what this podcast is about.
Yes. I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but now I'm really excited. Yeah. Well, no, it's not baby powder because the baby powder was the one that they like had like
Asbestos.
cancer or asbestos in it. But no, the specifically the Gold Bond medicated powder. I keep a little thing of it on the road. You know, if you're going to have a long day, you're wearing pants, you're running around, you know, you got to put it underneath.
Dust it up.
Dry as hell. Yeah. The legs are just like
chafing. Is it
not chafing.
Is it? But if you didn't have it, is it the legs or the balls? Which is your issue?
It's all of it. It just gets hot in there, you know. So like keeping it dry is like pretty essential. But it definitely is. It's definitely interesting if you've done it, you know, and then.
Oh, I'm addicted.
No. But if you had done it and then say you were to have an encounter, and there's a lot of the Gold Bond or stuff all over there, and then. You know, it could be...
You can't have an encounter on a Gold Bond.
Well, you'd have to reset with some water or something.
I'll be honest, right? I'm not lying. This is my favorite conversation on the podcast so far. I have my good buddy who got me into powder, the fucker. And there's no one else to talk to about it because I have the same thing. You're like, if a girl, if you hook up, sometimes she's like, why does it taste like baby powder? You're like, fuck it, I'm Irish.
Just another... Yeah,
well, I'm addicted. I was like, it's so hot because like I never wore it in Ireland.
Yeah.
And then I came to America. My buddy was like, buy baby powder. You're going to need it. And I was like, what are you on about? He's like, your balls are going to be sticking to your leg. like that fucking shit you throw off a wall. And slime.
Which leg do yours pick?
So you were prepared though. You never went through the whole.
Which leg do yours?
Yeah, which leg do you? Because I know.
I think they're right.
You can the you know the dong can hang one way or the other, but the balls also choose a leg too. I would say mine choose the right.
I think mine do too. I think I unstick from the right a lot.
But I think the other goes to the left.
It actually does stick to the right too.
Are you ever just in like a department store and you have to take like a stretch the quad just to get the ball
you
off.
go you do like
off the leg.
you try to not use your hands, you just go like
you're
like oh yeah, he really cares about stretching, that guy.
But sometimes I do it too much and it's like, is that guy pleasuring himself?
Well you have to be careful.
Is he farting?
Why is he tugging?
Children.
But yeah, my buddy got me into it and then I was like, this is way better. It was basically, I prefer it almost got me into meth. It'd be easier to get off it because people would be like, okay, that's actually a problem. But baby powder, they're just like, he's joking.
It's not a problem, it's the solution.
Yeah, but you've never gone through, because you're saying you do it 3 times a day and you were prepared because someone recommended it.
I feel like I hit it once. Like 4 p.m. if you're like, all right, it's getting sticky.
No, yeah. I'll do it when I wake up. When I get home, if I'm just hanging out at home. Before going out.
Yeah.
Before bed. Sometimes I'll just be lying in bed and I can't sleep and I'll be like, I need more powder.
You just tell your homie to pop over. You're like, you come by, just come in and you got your drawers down and you're just, he's like, oh yeah, oh my bad. Yeah, come on in.
But like, I remember too, I was going out one night and I forgot to put it on. And I was like to the Uber driver, we have to turn around.
Forgot my phone.
Okay, that's funny. He's like, what'd you forget? Your wallet?
Yeah. But I think the worst, we were in Arizona doing shows and that's so hot.
It's disgusting.
And I ran out of baby powder just before like we were leaving the hotel to go to the venue. And I remember being like, I'll be grand. Then I'm at the venue and I'm just like, I'm going to be on stage just ripping the balls off myself.
You ever heard of Postmates? You could Postmate baby powder to the show.
Oh yeah, we didn't think about that.
Yeah, America's crazy with that kind of shit.
So
literally Postmate, like, you know.
We had a tour manager at the time.
Yeah.
Useless fucker. He goes,
sorry.
He goes so bad. He goes, I'll take care of it. Oh, that's why. He was like, I'll take care of it. We're like, all right, cool. And he comes back with like, you know, if someone makes like, they grab a sheet of paper and they fold it around so it makes like a cup.
Yeah, a cone.
A cone, yeah.
He got some from somewhere else and put it in it?
He goes, I got some. He's like, I didn't get a bottle, but I got some. And I was like, what's this? And he goes, I went to the kitchen and the chef gave me flour.
I mean,
it's all right. And I'm just going on. And I'm like, I have to go on or else it's going to be like, that's all I'll think about. And it was a big size gig, so I was like, I don't want to be thinking about my balls up there.
Yeah, and you can't be like adjusting yourself on stage and shit.
So I went to the bathroom and I was like, fuck it, and I just threw it all on. And the thing about flour, baby powder sticks to you. Flower just went like this.
Just fall through.
Goodbye. I just went all over my jeans.
People think you're like smuggling drugs in your pants, and you're like, oh.
And then they were like knocking on the door, and I was just like, for fuck's sake. And I was like trying to put water on it, and I was just making the flower clump in my pants. So I just pulled it up, and I went on stage just like with a full flower.
What did we learn here?
Yeah.
Always keep. They have the baby bottle.
Yeah,
the,
no,
really small one. I keep it, but you have to keep it inside of a plastic bag. You can't just put it in your bag.
Ziploc it up,
because it stuff kind of, or if you squeeze it, like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No, I carry two or three of them now.
Plumes.
Yeah. I carry one. One's fine. I just keep it locked.
That does sound like an addiction, though.
Oh yeah, big time.
You put flour on instead.
Yeah, like I was craving.
He's like, I'll take anything.
Yeah, I was like that. I was like itching for it. Like, come on, give me anything.
Damn, that's amazing. Things you learn, Did you do well that night though? The flower night, you killed it.
Well. Yeah.
Did you mention the flour in your jocks?
No, because
he wasn't doing improv that night.
Yeah, the only thing is like to explain that backstory. And I was only doing 15 minutes.
It's obviously okay.
And there's no context, and it's America, so they're like, there's always a hurdle in some places, like Arizona's one of them, with my accent. They're like, is that real? Is this a bit?
They think it's a gag. They've never left. They've,
It's weird. So I'm like, some places I can't like waste time being like, this is.
Yeah, they're gonna eat up 3 minutes of you trying to just say that.
And they won't get it.
Jesus.
Robbie actually gave me that advice before. He goes, I was like saying something like, there was this promoter at the Comedy Store was just a maniac, psychotic woman. Like, she was so nice, and then you're walking on stage, she starts screaming at you, why is it there's 2 empty seats at the back and that's your fault? And you're just like,
Jesus.
But I was like, what the hell is this? And I'd go on stage and I'd be like, and I'd waste time going on about that chick, and everyone in the audience is like, what's he on about? And he goes, no, just turn the switch. He was like, just be on the minute you walk on.
Well, that's why don't you also say when you come on, you're like, hey, I'm Irish, to get it out of the way, right?
Oh yeah,
because you have to.
Yeah.
Like, where are you from, Australia? And you're like, God, dude, have you left your house? Mm-hmm.
That's why I like, what credits do you want? I'm like, just tell them I'm from Ireland.
Yeah, and everyone here's from Ireland.
Yeah, no, but if they say I'm Irish, they'll be like, I'm Irish too. So I'm like, no, you have to specify.
No, you're not Irish. You're American, and one of your friggin' ancestors is from Ireland.
Oh yeah. Irish. It's like
people love that in America though. Oh, I'm Irish.
Say all the way from Ireland, so it seems further away.
All the way.
All the way from Ireland.
Seriously, that'll like make them. It's all about like
setting it up for yourself.
You need to like the right words succinctly, just to make them be like, okay, we get it now.
Yeah,
I love that,
because like it's like me saying I'm from my dad's balls.
You are.
The way American people say I'm from Ireland.
I'm from my mom's.
It's like, it sounds like that to me, especially when you're like, I'm from Ohio. It's like,
I'm from Ohio.
It's a lot like people you meet in LA who say they're from LA and are usually from Michigan or Wisconsin or somewhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, once you've been here for like 10 years, you can say you're from LA. Like, it depends how deep you're in the conversation. You're like, oh, I live in LA, I'm from LA. If you toss it out, unless you're like, if you got time, you're like, all right, I got time. I'll tell you the whole lineage.
Yeah. That's yeah.
I've been here 9 years, so sometimes I'll just be like,
what is it that makes Irish people uncomfortable with that?
Maybe it's like
the sun.
Because the English pretended to be us as well, and we're like, well, hold on a second now.
Yeah, it's definitely from that. I remember seeing this BBC documentary, and it was about this English guy, I think it was in the 60s, and he was like touring Ireland, and he was all like, this is such a lovely country. And he was asking people like in an old country road, how do we get to local pub? And he asked this old man who was definitely like, had seen his friends killed by English soldiers, all right? And the old man just goes, you just go down there now, you take a light and you're good to go.
Yeah, sure.
And he was like, and they were like, they figured out that he said so few words and like muttered it, so that when he was young, probably the English were like, what were you saying? What you say? Shot him.
Oh really?
Yeah, so they had to be like almost like, obedient and like put the head down.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Good English people, dude.
So that's a nice tone. I like to bring the tone of the. If I feel like we're getting too giddy with joy.
No. Yeah.
I like to bring it down with a sad tale of death.
Yeah, of course, dude. Fucking sad as hell right now. Is this what you guys normally talk about on here?
There's no rhyme or rhythm.
Yeah, you got like a whole book of stuff. We haven't looked at it once, you know?
Oh, that means it's going well.
Okay, good. When you look at the book, it's bad.
Yeah, if I go like this.
Yeah.
So, Peter, you're a photographer.
Yeah. You're going to the cameraman, you're like, yo, you're like, stop rolling. Like, oh, that was great. Thank you for coming. Man, great time. Have a Dezo watermelon water on the way out.
They're good, aren't they? Cheers, Dezo.
Yeah,
Creative
cheers.
Orangina. Cheers.
Cheers.
Who was?
Have you invested in Dezo yet?
No.
No.
Do you get into Dodge, the coins?
No, honestly, I like was very slow on the like stock market, crypto stuff. Like I like a big news digester. So like I read a lot of news. Like I always like know what's going on. Like even like NFTs. I don't want to talk about that, but I know all about all the stuff without myself necessarily being in it. Just because I like to learn. I love learning. So like I like started doing like stock market shit in like January, and I was like, and I ended up like I made some money. I'm not like doing the day thing where you sit on it and you like the day trading shit. I just like started putting some money away, just like try to do a responsible thing, and it's actually going pretty well. But like with the coin stuff, I don't really know. I feel like I don't know enough about it right now to like be doing it. So I like learn as I go. You know, I build brick by brick because it's otherwise it's just like I don't know.
I'll tell you after. I'm gonna make you invest all your money in Dodge.
Not right now, dude. It's too late.
It's not.
Do you know what it feels like?
Time.
You know,
there's not, dude.
It is still time.
Not today. It's gonna equalize again.
Still time.
you know if you're gambling on a soccer match,
Yeah.
right, and your team could be winning, and there's more chance of you getting the money out. Your stock goes up if your team's winning in play, right?
Yeah.
It's already confusing me. But go.
Let's say you're betting on a soccer. It's like betting on a soccer match, right, where your team could be winning or losing at any point, except the ref doesn't blow the whistle at the 90-minute mark. He just blows at some arbitrary time you don't know about.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly like.
That's actually not bad.
That's what it's like. So you don't have the advantage of knowing there's 90 minutes in this game. You know.
Actually, no. That's
you don't
wrong.
know. He could call.
No, a ref could just come in and go, game's over. You're up, you're down. It's not like you have 90 minutes to play this game.
Yeah, it's you don't know, and it's going when it's like quote they call it like bullish when it keeps going up. Like it's got to go down at some point.
It's like your team scored twice. Now the other team could score 3 times, but
what if the game goes on for like a few years?
That's the problem. That's what I'm saying.
Did you put a couple euros in there or what?
Nah, fuck.
I did a long
time ago.
You did?
Yeah.
You did? Oh, cool. Earlier?
Dance. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
All right,
so
Dezo's on you, brother.
They're
free.
It feels like
he's up $60.
Fake money.
It is
which
fake
is
money.
Crazy.
It is fake money.
Yeah, but it comes out of your account.
Oh, you're taking it out. There's no disadvantage to taking it out, is there? Oh no, because you have less money in there to make more money on. But I'd take it out if I was you.
No,
it's fake.
No,
take fake money.
Hold. You got to hold.
Leave some of it in there.
If you're like doing the day trading stuff, there's like, you basically get taxed on that income. I don't know how it works if it's like at the end of the year, say you made $1,000, it takes out like 30%. But I know that like with stocks, just stocks in general, if you hold it for like a year, the capital gains is like way less tax. So like the longer term that you're holding, assets, then you get taxed less on it. So it like de-incentivizes day traders. However, I don't know. I know people that do that and they make some money, but like if they're like, oh, I made $3,000 this week or whatever, and then you're like, cool, show me your year and your all-time percentage because I know fucking last week you lost $3,000. It's like in Vegas. I don't gamble either. Like I put $50 down and I get my free drink and I go yay, and then I walk away. Like $50 is my limit when I'm there for work. It's just like
you have a good cut. Oh yeah, there's a good cutoff system. I feel
at least for that.
Let's get into vices.
No,
I do like to gamble.
Devices, cameras.
Yeah. Let's ask you a question.
Yeah. Ask away, man. This is also my first podcast.
I'm thinking of a word. Have a guess.
What is it?
What is
it?
Close.
What is it?
No, there's no answer. You either guess it right.
It is a word. He told you.
So now he's looking at the book. It's going terrible.
Oh, nightmare.
No, he wants to ask me something about himself. I can feel it.
No, I don't.
You do.
I just like gibbering. That's the whole point of the podcast.
Okay.
And then you're just like, oh shit, we're after an hour. We're good to go.
I love it.
So here, where were you? You were in.
I was in nowhere. I was in Europe on a project that I can't talk about.
Oh, perfect.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
Give us more vague details.
No, I saved it well. So,
where weren't you?
Well, yes, I was.
Wait, I have a better question.
Yeah, please.
Just to how often are you on the road usually before it all shut down?
I mean, I've been touring and stuff for like 6-7 years.
Really? That long?
Yeah.
Who's going around with it?
With like a lot of, in the beginning, like DJs and then like some pop artists and stuff like that. So it was like sometimes I'd literally go one tour and then I would like go for like 2 weeks in Europe and then like I'd literally go to the next tour in Australia and like they just
really
other people would just fly me right over there.
No way.
Like, I was doing like back to backs, but it's like anything like with any line of work, like you got to like put in the elbow grease and like even maybe you're like, oh, I'm kind of tired, like maybe I don't want to go. You just got to hammer that shit because it's never gonna be
ideal. The
amount of growth that you can get during a certain time when you just keep hitting it. And obviously, like, you know, within reason, but you know, you just got to do that. So I did that for like years, and like the past like 2 years, I was definitely like kind of toning down the as much travel, you know, just taking it when it's like a little better or when I really feel like I needed to.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, getting rates up, but also like moving into the more like directing stuff and like, you know, maybe like different kinds of photo projects and stuff. Cause like, you know, once you've done something that long, like it's cool, but like 4 hours of sleep at the Four Seasons is still 4 hours of sleep at the Four Seasons. You know what I mean?
What would it be that little sleep?
Sometimes, well, with electronic tours, like especially in Europe, the routing is literally terrible. Like you finish a show and it's like 3 a.m. and sometimes you have a flight at 9. So
no
like,
way, really?
Yeah, you're just in the airport, either tired or blind or both. Like literally blind.
That must be tough.
Yeah, it was fine. I'm a pretty energetic person, so it fit in, and it was just like cool. And like a lot of the people that a lot of the artists that I mainly travel with, I've worked for like 6 years, so they become like really good friends, and you know, we spend a lot of time together, and like we like everyone cares about each other. It's like kind of sweet, you know. So
that's handy. Your friends.
Yeah, that's cool. But sometimes when but it's definitely interesting. But I've been winding it down, and then COVID happened, and I was like, I didn't want there to be like a global pandemic or anyone to die or anything, but like for me, honestly, it was like. Which is a very privileged stance. I'm gonna acknowledge that for the internet. This is a very privileged stance. I'm aware of that. But yeah, it was honestly great. Like I got some time to like not be taken away.
I do like that.
You just like how correct I am.
Yeah, it's honestly great.
It's okay. We're the yin and the yang. This side of the table is correct, and you guys can ruin it, and I'll bring it back.
The thing is, too, I remember when it first started, the pandemic, I was like, I actually don't mind a 2-week break.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of shows, too.
Yeah.
And remember at the start, they were like, it's just going to be 2 weeks. I was like, perfect. I need to stop because it was just a lot. And then you're just like, oh, no, this is much longer.
Yeah, just playing video games. I like started The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And I finished it in like 3 weeks, and I was like, that was great. And then I was like, oh, this shit's still going.
That was my second time watching.
I was like, I think we're going to be here for a while.
Yeah, that was the boss. But like, the road is tiring, isn't it? Because even like, it's fun. It's the most fun I have. But then at the end, you're just like, oh, that's nice. And then you have a few days at home, and then you're back again, and you're just like, ah.
It is nice. But just like anyone, like I'm sure somebody does comedy or does music tours, like in the beginning, like you're going out every night, it's like an open bar every night, and you're like, ha ha ha. And then like after a bit, you're like, all right, man, like, you know, I'll have a beer after the show, but not every night's a thing, you know? Like you figure it out, you're like, you know, start going to the gym a couple years ago.
You'd be killing yourself. Oh yeah. That's the one good thing with people I go on the road with. They always go to the gym, so I'm like, all right, good.
And it helps you like get a good little bit more rest than you might have, you know.
Yeah, but like the 6 a.m. flights, especially if you're out the night before.
I mean, that's the same thing.
Yeah,
it depends where you are. If you're in Europe, that's 6 a.m. is like,
yeah, but like if you're sitting, I remember one time I was checking in straight to the airport, but I had like a show at the Laugh Factory, and then I had like a 6 a.m. flight, so I had to be there at 4:45, and by the time I got home, it was like 2 o'clock, and I was like, I can't sleep for 2 hours. I might miss it.
Unless you have a tour manager, which I'm sure you didn't at the time, you know.
Yeah. Oh no, but this is coming from LA to the place, so I'm like.
Yeah, you can't do this. You can't sleep because I'm like not gonna wake up.
Yeah.
Especially if you had a couple of drinks.
Oh yeah. So then I'm just like, all right, I'm up. I stayed up, and I got there, and they were like, oh, I was meant to have a good seat, and they put me like in the middle seat of an emergency row, but there was 2 guys next to me, and the old fella on this side, just like I was just sitting there trying to sleep. And he just elbows my arm off the arm.
Oh no, you got to establish dominance right when you get on.
Well, you get a middle seat.
Middle seat.
You pick
yeah.
that.
No.
Okay,
I have to have a good one there. Like we're kind of over full. You have to take.
They stitch you up.
Yeah. But then the dude elbows me, and I was like, did you mean that? And he goes, yeah, that's my armrest. And it got so tense
immediately.
It's such a shock. And I was like, it's not. And I moved because I was there first, and he came along with a coffee, and I just moved him back, and he's like, you spilled my coffee. I was like, I didn't do anything. And he did it again. And then I kind of said too loud, listen, you cunt, I don't want to fight you, but what's happening here? And everyone around us got tense. And I was like, this is not me. He's elbowing me. And the guy next to me, in fairness, was like, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's doing that. And it was just, I was like, these flights. And then it was a flight like to...
It's a good tactic to just immediately threaten violence.
Yeah, because then I was like, I don't have the energy. I was sweating.
Let's get to
I got in a cold sweat for some reason.
Flights,
no sleep.
Flights are also, like, it's something before that we all just, you fly and, like, it's how you get there and it's cool. But then when you don't fly for a while, like, you just think back and you're like, wow, flying is pretty terrible for the most part.
Yeah.
And there's so many times and you're just like, people are just in a bad mood, and you're just like, and people in Europe, like in the summer, like they don't wear deodorant. You're just like, dude, it smells like shit. They don't have air conditioning, and I'm like, dude, what? Like
basically like a fancy bus ride.
Yeah. You know, in Europe when you're on the transfer bus,
yeah,
and it's the summer, and cunts are like this, and you're like,
it's like New York.
Oh,
I did a visa run ages ago to Mexico, and on the way down, I was sitting next to an old dude, and he just didn't care. And he just like, but no, he shat his pants like 100%.
Oh no!
And the stink, but he just sat in it. He didn't acknowledge.
Yeah, but that's a boss move.
It's a boss move.
You gotta go to the bathroom, throw the drawers out.
Yeah. Until you're one aisle over. That was brutal. I remember I went to I think it was Puerto Vallarta or something on my own. I was just hanging. Have you ever gone somewhere on your own? It's a nice hotel and stuff, but you're just like, I'm a real loser.
No.
I did it in Vegas one time, and I did it in this place, and it was so bad. I remember going to the hotel where it was like, we're organizing a night out for the people there, and I was like, these losers. And then after 20 minutes, it's just drinking on my own.
You're like, I should have gone.
But I joined them, and it was like me, and there was this dude. He must have been about 16. Big fucker, big like galoot of a fella,
like The Rock.
Yeah, but he was
like Samoan or something.
He's like those Speedo glasses and his hat back to front, and he was like, "We'll do shots," and I was like, "All right, man." Thinking I was like, this guy was drinking me under the table. He was literally like young as fuck. And that night, some girl was like from the hotel. We were just like hooking up, and she was like trying to come back to my room or something, and like we were both hammered. We were on the bus back, the hotel bus, like
like making out and stuff.
Yeah, and then she goes, I better not. It's time of the month or something. And I was hotel like, bus. All right, cool. So next morning, I'm at like the buffet, and I see her with a dude. Like two of them are just like at the buffet. She was there on her honeymoon.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
And like I remember
the homie was sleeping.
He went to bed,
and you were just like,
I remember being at the toaster machine, and they were like coming up behind me, and I was just looking at their rings, and people were walking by, and like the staff were being like, "Oh, happy honeymoon," and I was just like waiting. I was screaming in my head at the toast. I was like, please pop, just pop, so I can leave.
Aren't you? I mean, you're not supposed to do that at all, but aren't you supposed to do that on the bachelorette weekend, like before you get married?
Oh yeah,
like,
no, yeah.
You're not supposed to do that, but like, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to judge people, but
well, what would you do if that happened? If you're like, if your wife came to you and she was like, just
depends if there was a prenup. It depends if she had the
money. I prefer not to be told. I feel like silence is golden.
If that was it, and they didn't like fully do the deed, I feel like I just wouldn't want to know.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know anyway.
No.
If everything was going well, sure, it's ruined. My brain be like, all right, we're over forever.
Yeah.
I put up a wall and it's gone.
Yeah, it's not a vibe.
Yeah, that'd be a hilarious way to serve divorce papers.
That's also something.
It's not a vibe.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is not a vibe.
I can see you.
You can see me saying that. Fuck you. Tell my girlfriend to not watch this. Sorry, honey, but it's not a vibe. Oh my God.
That'd be a great way to end it.
That's also something American people don't understand is a visa run. They like don't know what that is because you have to like go leave America on your own time and then go.
Oh yeah.
And then come back in to like, especially with the O1 or whatever visas. Like it's just a very bizarre thing. And now the embassy's been closed.
Yeah.
My assistant had to go back to Australia because she couldn't renew her visa to like stay here. So it's just a kind of
a lot of Americans too. They're just like, but why don't you just like get it?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, they're like, but you're funny, just get it. And you're like, you can't actually get it. The thing is, you can't get it now because comedy places are closed. So you have to be here like, oh, they need me here to work.
You also have to like make up like, I mean, not make up, but you have to like make up like 4 years of touring plans. And like, I'm going to, in 3 years, I'm going to play the Staples Center. You fucking watch. And the guy at the visa place is like, looks like you're doing pretty well. And I'm like, I've got $30.
It's so tedious.
But you do have to do that. You have to get people to sign off. Like,
oh, it's unreal.
Yeah.
And the worst is like, I hate asking favors. I prefer
you had to ask favors.
so many, and you're just like, hey, I hate to do this. I build it up in my head too, where I'm just like, I know this is awful. I know they're like, are you going to kill me? I'm
Damn.
like, worse, can I ask for a letter of recommendation? They're just like, yeah, write it, whatever you need. But like, yeah, it's brutal. Like, yeah, that's hilarious. The best part is I hire a visa lawyer.
You have to, yeah.
And then he goes, all right, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, why am I hiring you? Like you said, you got to make up all the tour. You got to get all the letters.
It's like a visa shaman. You know? He can't take the ayahuasca for you, you know? It's a visa shaman. Yeah, he's got.
I'd love to be in court for murder. And they're like, who's this? And you're like, this is just my lawyer shaman. He's out here to save
My
me.
murder shaman.
It's LA. I'm sure there is one, dude. There's one for everything.
But yeah, that visa shit's annoying as fuck. And you spend so much money.
Yeah, it's you spend a bunch of money to then be let in the country for like 3 years, and then, like you can't like really buy shit because you don't have credit, and then you're like, all right, cool, we're here, and like everything's going well, but like, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, you're
like,
looking over your shoulder the whole
when
time.
you look at it on paper, you're like, ah.
Yeah, I know. And like you said, you spend so much money when you probably don't have it at the start.
Yeah, well, no one does. I'm starting out. Here's money.
Here's 10 grand.
Yeah,
like,
that's the worst
I worked this up from working in the grocery store in Ireland.
And then they're like, I remember there was one of my visa renewals. This guy in Orange County, like, couldn't have been more American if he tried, but he was like, I'm Irish too. The Irish embassy recommended him to me.
You go with it in those circumstances.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm like,
Patrick.
oh yeah, Paddy Michelle.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You're Irish.
It's like
Jose O'Shea.
Yeah.
Jose.
It's like if it's a hot chick.
Dude, Mexican Irish, powerful combo.
Oh yeah, that's
Colossal
powerful.
drinkers.
Yeah.
I got a friend from home who's an Irish Jew who I grew up with.
Really? An Irish Jew?
He's Jewish and Irish, and this motherfucker had Christmas and what's the holiday? Hanukkah. They had Christmas and Hanukkah, and he would get presents for all of them. And I was like, dude, you're such a douchebag. Yeah, you get a present every night for like 13 nights. Every time they light a candle, boom, present. And they get bigger as it goes on. And then at Christmas, I was like, you greedy fucker.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I convert for the gifts.
I think you have to be invited to Judaism. You can't just convert.
Really? You can't just knock on the door.
You can't just convert. You have to like marry someone or something and then convert. Like you can't
Invitation only.
You can't just pop in. You gotta read that shit right to left.
Like Clubhouse.
I would love to do to join Judaism, and then Jews are like, what?
Like a full Irish Jew.
Who let you in here? Like they got very upset.
The Jewish people, especially in LA, like I mean, where I grew up, there's a lot of Jewish people, and it's like I was always like envious of like the, I don't know, like the community they have. Like, I would go to church and like I was like Presbyterian church, and it was like fine, it was cool, and like there was a community, but like because of all of like the religious like persecution that Jewish people have had, like they basically the only way to survive was to like stick together, and so like I was always envious of that. Like as far as I saw when I was growing up, I was like, oh, it's just cool. Like they just ride for each other, and like they got the businesses, and they're like, you should marry my daughter and shit. This is kind of dope.
Oh yeah,
it's like the Irish little towns in like on the East Coast and the Bronx and shit.
Yeah.
I was hoping that you were gonna go into a rap. when you said
no.
Have you ever had? I remember one time there was a girl. I was just chatting to her, and she was like, "I was like, what? So you're a singer?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like, what? All right, nice one. She goes, yeah, I like to rap. And I started laughing because I was like, there's no way.
Yeah. Did she?
She started rapping.
Was it good?
No.
Well, you don't. I mean, unless you're like Biggie Smalls, I don't think you are good without being bad first, right? Like I think most people that are good were bad secretly, and they did it for a long time, and they got better.
Yeah.
It's just like comedy. Like
yeah, exactly.
You're terrible. And
Yeah.
Now you're starting to show people, and you're getting a little better.
I was like, wow, his verbs are present as opposed to past.
Dude,
You were bad, but yeah, she was just bad. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Someone just had a wank.
Someone tune in this week for ASMR. Can opening.
But yeah, she started rapping and it was like, here's the thing too. I feel like with some comedians you can see and be like, oh, there's potential there.
Yeah. There has to be at least some kind of spark.
Yeah.
Where you're like, if someone's like, I want to be a politician, and they're like really awkward, and you're like, my guy, this is not this is not gonna happen.
He's just drooling on you.
Like you could be like, I don't know, just not that.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many comedians that like have chosen the wrong path.
As comedians.
Well, comedians are like, I mean, they choose comedy that like is the wrong path, but they like embrace it, and they've chosen all the wrong, and then they talk about it.
But like some of them, have you ever met someone that's so unfunny? You're just like, wait, what?
And sometimes they think they're funny.
Oh yeah, that's
and then they're like, oh, you're not laughing. I'm like, dude, if you got to ask me if I'm laughing, it's not good. It's not a good time.
That's like asking a girl,
Oh fuck.
did you come? And she's like, bless.
Try it.
Dude, when did you? Now I'm gonna turn the tables here. When did you start doing like comedy? Like how did you? What was your road to like being funny? Because obviously when you were younger, you weren't really funny. So like at what point did you go, I could maybe be funny one day?
I think it was. I do remember when I was young, I thought I was funny,
Yeah.
and I remember my uncle. We were like having Christmas parties. I was just trying to like entertain people and stuff.
Yeah, you had like your one joke that you
I didn't even have a joke. I was just being like, I didn't realize I was being annoying.
Yeah, a pest.
Yeah, I was a pest, big time pest. And my uncle just said to me, as people were leaving like the Christmas party, I was sitting on the stairs, and he just came up and he said, "You're very annoying. I hope you know." And I was just like, young, it's so young, it burned into my brain.
Yeah, you didn't have like self-awareness yet. Also, like, you're a kid, you don't need self-awareness, you just want to be a kid.
But he was definitely like, I've had enough of his shit.
And that was the point you said.
That's the point where I was like, no, that was the point where I was like, okay, I need to hone the annoying part, the annoying pest. I just have to channel it into funniness.
That's amazing. So that was the moment. That was the aha moment for you.
Probably not. Then I was oblivious. But then college, school in Ireland too, you just naturally usually become funny. Because people are mocking each other and you have to mock them back.
Yeah, you don't want to get stepped on.
Yeah, so you just get like wittier. And then, but I never thought till I came here. And then I came here like writing scripts and stuff. And then the guy was like, "Are you going to do comedy?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." Like, it's
what do you mean? You came to LA and then you were just like writing?
Yeah, I was just trying to do like make a sitcom. So I was just writing and stuff. And then they were like, "You do stand up too?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I do." Just bluffing.
Of course, yeah, you got to fake it till you make it. 100%.
I remember being at a meeting one time with some business manager, and like we sat down. This dude just couldn't. He was definitely just trying to get me to an orgy. He sat down, and I had ordered like a hot coffee or something, and I took a sip, and it was just burning the mouth off me. And he's just like, "So tell me about yourself," and I was like, just dribbling down.
He's like, "Are you having a stroke?"
Did you get the gig?
I did. He invited me to. He was like, "I'm going to have a little party later if you want to come around."
Like,
it's going to be me and some guy Simon. I was like,
just him and Simon.
Simon says, "Suck his dick."
Okay, that's weird. If someone says they're having a party and it's just them and one person, you don't know them well, it's probably a little strange, you know.
I remember there was a woman when I first came here too. I met her on Craigslist, like looking for apartments.
Yes.
And she kept in touch. She was like, "Such good energy." And she goes, "I'm going to have a European party. You should come." And I was like, didn't know anyone. I was just sitting at home. I was like, "Yeah, I'll come." She was around the corner. And I went over. It was awkward, right? Because there was a hot girl sitting on. She had like an L-shaped couch, and there was like, say, 6 dudes in her. There was a hot girl sitting on the ground in front of the fire. She was like, take a seat. And I was like, okay. So I sat down on the ground next to the hot girl.
Yeah.
As I sat down, her dude came out of a bathroom. She got up and left. So
and
now
you were just like,
So you're sitting on the floor on your own now.
on the floor on my own. Then there's 6 dudes or something, 5 maybe, and her. And they're all looking at me, and the girl says something like, all right, let's begin. And I was like, what's going on? And they were all
you
like,
said, let's begin.
yes, let's get it going. I didn't realize it was like an orgy or something. All these Danish, Finnish dudes, they were like taking off their top. They started doing like giving each other Molly. I didn't realize that at the time. They're like, here. And I was like, no. Sitting on the floor like a child. And then one guy like Gunter or something was like, hey, relax. Come to the bedroom, help me pick music. And all right, I didn't realize what was going on.
You're like, oh yeah, I love music.
So I just wanted to get out of the situation
Oh my
where
God.
I was sitting on the ground.
But into another situation that was more private.
But my brain was like, oh yeah, I'll help you
Sick.
pick music. And they were like, okay, he's into it. Then I walked in, I was like, oh. And then to the girl, I was like, I can't remember her name, Marie or something. I was like, oh, I gotta go. She was like, you're not leaving. She got very angry with me. She's like, you're ruining the vibes. Like, she was getting upset.
You're like, dude.
So she goes, I was like, she goes, you can't leave. I told them they want you to stay. And I was like, in my head, the whole time in my head, whenever I'm in a weird situation, I'm like, don't be rude.
Yeah, you're definitely too nice.
Yeah, what would my parents think if I was rude to this woman?
You're like, I think the vibe judgment is on me, and this is very no judgment, but it's not my bag.
So then she was like, you're just going to leave? I was like, actually, my friend wants to come. He's kind of into this. She was like, you got a friend? And I was like, yeah. She's like, go get him. And I literally I went out the stairs and ran home.
That's actually a good out.
Yeah. I've used that twice. I was like, my friend would love this. And they always get eager. They're like, more men. And I ran home. And then she hits me up and she's just like, just so you know, me and my friends think you're very rude. We had a great time without you. You're not coming back again.
You say, okay.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Weirdos.
And then, all right, I said that story to someone. And they were like, that wasn't an orgy. That was a gangbang.
That's what it sounded
Oh,
like.
right,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, because I was like, yeah, it was just this weird orgy. There's usually more than one woman at an orgy.
I feel like there's nothing more like interesting and like special, not necessarily in a good way, than when you first get to LA, you have like no friends, and you're just like this, like your doors are open, like someone's like, I got a barbecue. You're like, cool, I just met you at the coffee. I'm down. Like you're literally someone's like, oh no, down.
You're straight
and like,
in.
I feel like when I first got here, like I just like the randomest people, and every once in a while, like those people now, like, you know, go look at Instagram, like, you know, see you're doing well or something, and hit you back up. Like this one guy the other day was like, yo, like, let me get your number. And I was like, nah. I was like, I didn't tell him that I didn't never changed it, but I was like, if you can't figure that out, like, but it's so bizarre. I just remember like the most, but it's a beautiful thing though, because you get into like the weirdest situations, and then once you've lived here for a while, or whatever, and you're like, oh, I only go to my homie's house or this, but I try to keep a little bit of that energy in my life, just to keep it spicy. Like sometimes I'll meet someone and like they're like, actually my friend hit me today, and he's like, oh, like my friends are having this birthday party tonight, and like I've been DJing. I'm not a DJ, but I've been DJing for like 10 or 12 years. My friend's like, oh, my friends are like having this party tomorrow night. Like, they want to like pay someone to like bring a sound system and DJ. And I was like, I don't really know any of them, but I was like, yes, like 100%. I don't know. Like I try to keep a little bit of that randomness,
yeah.
because otherwise you're so closed off and you don't have the new experiences. And like, I feel like I like that weird.
Oh, I love it.
Because sometimes it pans out. Like I met you through a friend, and like I didn't. Who knows? Like you came to my house, I didn't know who you were, and I was like, "What's up?" And it was great. And like, I love that. Someone's like, "Can I bring a friend I don't know?" I'm like, "Yes, you can." I'll try anything once, you know.
I show up. How's it going, you cunt?
But isn't that great? Though?
Oh yeah, that's why
the spirit of that is like beautiful to me.
Oh, I would say yes to everything. Someone told me before they're like, Irish people are very wise, but they're also very naive. So I'll be like, oh yeah, I know this is a safe situation, and then I end up with an orgy. Like there was another time. There was a girl, gangbang.
Well, it was safe for them, you know?
But a girl one time, again off Craigslist, that I was like chatting to about
sensing a theme.
Well, like the first people I knew was like people I hit up about their spare rooms, and then they were like, "Oh, you seem nice" or whatever.
Want to come to this thing?
Yeah. So this girl invites me to a party, and it's in like East LA somewhere. And I just randomly put on a blue T-shirt.
Ooh.
We go over there, and I was like, some random dude who's like my friend's cousin from back home picks me up. He's like, I'm Irish too. This guy was a nightmare.
Oh,
Zero personality.
Pest.
And I'm like, yeah, and he was a pest. I lived with 2 models at the time, and he was just he was very lurchy, and I was like, we gotta leave.
You're like, come on, man.
Yeah, and the worst part is, like, I just met him, but you know when you just meet someone and they're a nightmare, but they're like, oh, this is Mark's friend, and I have to be like,
well, they've like vouched for you themselves by you without you saying anything.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah, that's the homie.
And like, I was in the bathroom, and they were like, so how'd you know Mark? And the guy said something like, oh, my cousin is his really good friend. So they thought there was like a history here.
Yeah, so they're like accepting to him, and he's like, oh, and they're like, yeah, ha, ha.
And then he's getting creepy, and then they're like, here, you gotta stop, like, there's another couch over there. And I was like, we gotta leave. So we went to this party, and I went in to buy some liquor, and I just walked in, and I could sense everyone was like looking at me.
And you were like, what's up? And you're like,
yeah,
what has gone wrong?
And then they were just like, you should leave. And I was like, why? They're like, they're the wrong colors. And in my head I was like, what is he on? Was it because I'm white? Like, I was definitely in the wrong neighborhood.
That happened to me in New York as well. I was walking through. I used to go rugby training after work, and you'd get a train up so far, and then you have to walk a couple of blocks to get to the edge, and then get across a bridge or whatever. And I got off too early, and I ended up in fucking somewhere in Harlem, and I was walking along in my rugby shorts. And the fucking rugby shorts are short, right?
Yeah, and your white stems are.
Americans don't. They
White
like
stems.
Americans can't. When Americans see someone,
I like short shorts too.
When Americans see someone walking in short shorts, they think they're underwear.
Yeah,
that's the experience I've had.
Unless you're actually in the jogging, then they think.
No,
it's
I
weird.
was just strolling along, and I heard this fella go. This is the naive wise thing. This fella go, "Hey, white boy, you in the wrong neighborhood, son. You about to get shot." And I laughed because I thought he was joking. I thought that fella was funny. And then I kept walking, and I told the boys at rugby trainer, like, no, don't get off at that stop ever again.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Will we pull up to this party, all right?
Yeah.
After we get kicked out, we pull up to this party, and the cousin dude was like, you shouldn't go in there. And I was like, why? It looks fun. He goes, nah, I'm not getting out of the car. And then as he said that, a car like bounced past us.
Yeah, with the yeah.
And the girl was at the door, and she was waving at me. And the car, and I heard the dude in the car just being like, what the fuck? And like they turned around, and the guy goes, get in.
Yeah, we're gone.
This story has a stupid ending, all right? So we drive all the way back. The guy's like, so what are we going to do? It was still early on a Saturday night.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, we got the whole night ahead of us.
Yeah.
World's our oyster.
So we go to
Roosevelt.
Red Rocks State Social House. There was like 2 big women chatting us up, like big woman, and then this woman was like doing shots with me, and I literally was like, you shouldn't be doing shots, should you? You're like pregnant or something. Like, didn't even think about it. I just thought, I literally.
Wait, you said
like
that?
This.
I think every man at one point in their life says that. And then to never say that again. Yeah. Because you innocently, you're like, oh. And then you're like, oh, my God. Like, this is not like, cool.
So she starts freaking. Then her friend comes over who's a big steroid head. And he just starts being, he doesn't even ask. He's just like, sell me drugs. And I was like, what? He goes, sell me drugs. And I was like, no drugs. He's like, you're lying to me. And I was like, and then they were like, they went outside. And then we were like, went outside. And the woman and the dude were like, that's him. That's the guy who called me fat. And the guy was like, that's the guy who wouldn't sell me drugs. And I'm like, what's happening?
You didn't call her fat, you called her pregnant.
I'm pregnant. So
which is worse, I think.
So we go back to me and this fucking stumpy man go back to my place. And my 2 roommates are up. And he's still cracking onto him. And they were like, he's got to stop. And I was like, yeah, man, you got to like, he's like, I just can't drive home. I'm a bit drunk. I was like, lie down upstairs, like lie on the floor by my bed or something.
Yeah.
So he lay in the bottom of my bed, pissed himself, woke up, all right, and he walked out like, I gotta go. And he just walks out, and I was like, thank God he left. I walked upstairs. I was like, what is the puddle everywhere?
I'm imagining carpet. Was it carpet or no?
No, he lay in my bed.
Oh.
Even worse. That's amazing.
Oh, it's brutal. And that's the end of it. I feel like podcasts aren't good for long stories.
No, it's okay.
It's all right.
So anyway, I'm thinking of a word.
I have a thing. Then someone, me and my friends have a thing where we go, you know what they say, and then whoever's the new person, they're like out on the gag, and then all the homies, they know that you're gonna say something that no one actually says, and they go, oh, yeah, that's what they say. So you go, you know what they say, when it's up, it's down, and the homies go, oh, man, that's totally what they say, and the new person's like, what the fuck? And so you just come up with new ones, and sometimes you just go, you know what they say, and then you just leave it, and then the new person's like, dude, what do they say? Like I don't get it.
I hope the new person, this probably be me, be so insecure. They'd be like, my mom would say that.
Damn.
I love saying to people I don't know. Like if I was at your house, didn't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I was rambling.
You know what they say?
I'd love to be like, sure, you know me, lads. And they're all like,
yeah, and they're like, no one knows you.
We don't
That's
have
good.
a clue who you are. You know what they say? So anyway, what was your first pump like?
It was terrible.
I bet you'd be good in the first date.
Yeah. Strong early game.
What a dope.
Just kidding.
You said that honestly though.
I didn't. Yeah, I was a late bloomer. So I was like, I think I was like 8. I was 19 when I
I
lost
thought you were going to say 8.
Lost 19 when I lost. Because my mom, when I was younger, she was a doctor, and she was just like, basically like, you're gonna get chlamydia, you're gonna die, they're gonna get pregnant, that kind of thing. Like she put the fear in me way better than the Catholic Church anyone or a teacher ever could.
Same fear.
And so I was just like, okay, like that's it, And then she tragically died when I was 16. So we had to bring it down. We were too happy. So she was like sick for a while and passed away. God rest her soul. But then after she died, I was like, well, okay, like I'm still gonna die and get chlamydia and get pregnant. So like I'm not doing that. So all high school, like I was just like, girls. I would like hang out with girls, and I was like, dude, I'm not, like, absolutely not. Like,
you were turning it down.
Oh my god, like not. I'm not saying I'm cool, but I was like, no, absolutely not. But then it made them. They were like, oh yeah, like he doesn't. When people don't want to do something, they're like, it's like if you go to your friend's party and they're like, have a drink. I'm like, no, I'm driving. They're like, you don't have it. They're like, have a drink.
Yeah, force it.
And you're just like, dude. So yeah, all high school was like that, and then I made it through like a semester at college, and then
I like that you made it through.
The people found out, like, and I was like, just like, it's crazy. And then eventually, I just did it, got it over with. It was awful. I don't want to go into details, but it ended up being okay.
You skipped over the best part of that story.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Steve. But no, it was interesting. But I
feel
was
like
a late bloomer. I didn't drink till I was like 17 either.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't even mean the pumping or the boozing. I just meant conversation wise. Like a sober date.
Oh no, that's me. That's my.
I like the way you got the wrong part of that question.
Wait, is that what he thought? He thought, am I a good drinker and sexer?
Yeah, I meant good at chatting, like a first date.
Yeah, no, I was pretty strong at that.
I like the way you went on a tangent.
Well, no, because people
we could have made you cry there, I'd say, if we let you keep going.
Well, because I think some people, like, I don't know, you have to be self-aware on your, like, what the strong suits of you are, like, what you're the best at, like I'm a director and I'm a photographer, and I know that I'm good at those things now because I've done them for a long time and invested the time and money and like whatever, elbow grease. But I know that I'm best at people, and I know that I'm way better at people and like relating to people, empathy, that kind of stuff for like storytelling. Like that's what you need.
Yeah.
So like I know that I'm better at that than I am, way better at that than I actually am at, technical camera work or photography or whatever. Or art, So like I know that's my strong suit. So like just knowing that, and then you work to get better at the other things. But it's not like I picked up a camera and I was Scorsese, like I'm a people person, and like that's my thing. That's what I know I'm best at.
Wait, relate this to a first date.
That's what he would say, first thing.
What?
Is that your first date, chat?
Hi, how's it going? I'm a people person.
First date, I'd wear blue and like I'd sit with the light facing me, so it brings out my eyes, and then that's it. Like I used to do that.
That actually sounds clever.
I used to do that on first dates. I had this like light blue, like just t-shirt, and I would always wear it on first dates because it because otherwise my eyes are like smaller. No one sees how wonderful, amazing my eyes are.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He's thinking about it.
I used to do
that's
that.
good.
Like, yeah, you could wear like a green amber shirt, you know, and then really bring out your.
Oh yeah, I got a good green one too.
Yeah.
Nice. Now we're talking. Thank God we finally got there.
Yeah.
Because I asked you twice. I think you'd be good in the first day. First time you went on about not having sex and your mum dying, sadly.
You told me I had to bring it down.
Second time you started talking about technicalities with cameras.
Yeah.
And you're a
the
people
third
person.
time we got there.
We're here.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Imagine that was your whole ploy. I feel like you'd be a good shaman. You'd be like, "We're here, welcome." Imagine, I could see you taking
Good first date shaman.
Yeah, you take a girl home, and you're like, "I'll just be in the bedroom," and she walks in, and you're like, "We're here."
Do you go in with low when you go on a first date? Do you try and keep the expectations medium? Because like the inclination is to go high.
Yeah, but
No.
You want to give a bit of yourself.
You go
bit of disappointment in the middle.
I'm glad you're finally on the page because
Yeah.
I knew you'd be good.
It's been. I've had a girlfriend for 4 years, so it's been a minute. But you know, my memory still
Hypotheticals.
works. Hypothetically, no, you got to start cool and low because girls, they don't really care. I mean, the girls that you want to talk to, they don't really care what car you're driving. They don't really care about that. They don't even care if you got like a little bit of a belly or something. They don't care about any of that. They don't care about your muscles. They care about if you're nice and like you're cool and like you do cool shit and you have cool friends and like you want and you're funny like and you're fun. To hang out
agree
with.
with that.
True.
Those are the things they care about with. So like ideal date, dude, I take a girl to like Leo's Tacos like on East LA at like 7 p.m. Get some tacos. Maybe go to a movie, but movie's not good for a first date because you don't really talk. So I'd go get a drink somewhere, and then you know nothing better than changing up the scenario, and then go get food somewhere. And also first date, the best thing, the car time. Get the car time. You play the good music.
This guy's
you
good.
set the vibe.
This guy's good.
Bro,
He's saying all the right things. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I do all this shit.
You have the, you know, you notice maybe she's wearing shorts or a skirt. You're like, all right, I'm gonna not make it as cold because, like, you know, and you have the music, you have the music going,
Windows down, heating up.
everything's perfect. Or windows down and it's cold out, seat heaters on.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
no,
about.
this is no.
I'm glad you finally got here.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
been waiting for you to answer these
But
questions.
yeah, this is that is it.
It's
So-
second Dezo.
or there's like there's like a Hollywood Overlook Park is pretty cool. You can hop over a little fence at night, like looks over LA. It's a great spot, you know, to either murder someone
that
or
later,
take them on a date. Yeah, Hollywood Overlook Park's great. That kind of stuff, man. Like, you know, you can go to the beach at night, bring a blanket, like a couple beers, you know, like easy. They don't care about them. You don't want to go like, I'm gonna take you to the nicest dinner because like, where are you gonna go from there?
I agree.
But I agree with that. My problem is sometimes I'll
But
be
it's nice there in the pocket as well.
Yeah.
in the that sounds like a sandwich.
Back
You take a
pocket.
sandwich out of your
In
Yeah.
the chamber. That's more violent.
Plus-
Is that more manly for you?
Plus, the first date, you want to pay for everything, but make sure everything's cheap.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Clever.
I
This
got
guy.
this.
This guy.
Yeah.
That's like when you go out,
Forget
I see all
photography,
my
bro.
cousins. I'm like, it's like dollar beers. I'm like, beers on me, beers on me. And then next time it's like $20 a drink. And my uncle's like, I got it. I'm like, oh, thanks, dude.
I like a sneak.
Yeah, well, you got to build up, and then like
You don't want to be at Soho House being like.
And also,
shot
if you're
for
going
it.
on dates, very important, fellas. If you're going on dates, within the first couple dates, you know, maybe you pick up a tab once. You got to establish the split bill.
Yeah.
Or let them be like, I'm taking you out. Like you don't
Key.
have to like
Yeah.
fit into the male thing of like I'm paying. Like everyone's out here, man. Like especially if you're an artist, you're doing something like we are, whatever. When you're starting out, like you're not making money. It's just like establish that because you got to create the culture that you want.
I feel
That's
yeah.
the question I asked him. This guy is good.
Yeah, because like in Ireland, well, my parents anyway, they both work, so everything seems split. I'd see him like physically, I'll get this, I'll get that, whatever. So I come here and some women are like, I'm not paying for anything. I was like,
Well, you're also gonna find those if you go to like Catch or
Yeah.
you know, this, you know.
I have another question for you because I knew you'd be a first date guru. Sometimes
less.
I'll meet someone and I'll be like, especially sober dates, you're just like, I wish I was just chilling on my own. Like the conversation's poor. What do you do?
Usually that means either that means that they're just not a good conversationalist and like it's probably not going to go anywhere except for be out of there.
Yeah.
Or that means they could have just like social anxiety, which I
Oh,
never
maybe.
realized when I was younger or like middle age or now. I was like, oh man, this guy's a douchebag. And then like later I was like, oh, he probably just has social anxiety, and there was like hundreds of people around. He was like weirded out.
Oh,
or, like,
yeah.
or like being anxious. So like I didn't think about that till the past year or two, and then I was like, oh, because normally I'd be like, oh, that guy's a douchebag. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, maybe he just doesn't like being around a lot of people. It kind of weirds him out. But yeah, I would say either you maybe your first date, maybe have a drink or two, like loosen it up. It's also nice to go somewhere if you don't know them, like where there's other people. So like there's an interaction with the bartender, or like there's a guy at the table, like, hey, I like your shirt, man, that's dope. So you gotta so it gives a little break.
Bit of tertiary involvement.
That is a good point.
So it kind of gives a little breaking the ice a little bit. It has some outside influence.
Yeah.
So
It's not fully isolated.
So it's not fully just relying on you and her.
It's clever.
That is good, all right. Jesus.
I do this for the homies. Like, the homies that are single, I guide them.
Well, I have no problems getting dates. I just don't want to go on a lot of dates.
Yeah.
I much prefer like
quality.
This is the Irish, maybe. Yeah, quality. But like,
What are you looking for, Mark, is the question.
Yeah, let them know.
Just
No, he lost it.
someone
He's deflated there.
Someone just like my mother, No. But like, I would say in Ireland, you kind of meet them boozed up a few times, and you have a laugh.
Yeah.
And then you do a sober date. So that's ingrained. Yeah. So like then it's not sober, because then you're just like you're both socially awkward selves, unless one person's
you got the chit chat out of the way.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
And then you've got something to talk about.
Yeah, like ha, Jimmy was crazy.
He knows it well.
Man, that bouncer was a dick.
Pretty much.
How did you know my only two topics of conversation the whole time? Imagine she went back to her friends and she was like, yeah, the Irish guy just kept talking about Jimmy being crazy.
Dude, what's weird though is that my girlfriend, we've been dating for like 4 years. We just moved in together, and yeah, nice.
Shout out.
She's great. Shout out to Val. But it's crazy. She's the first girl that I dated that doesn't drink alcohol at all.
Really?
At all, because she's her parents are both from China, and she's like allergic. One time I forced her to drink a glass of wine.
Shit like that made sense. Her parents both from China, so she's allergic.
A lot of people a lot of people of Asian descent have problem metabolizing
Really?
alcohol.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah.
You're just so white that you don't.
I actually knew that.
An alcohol allergy.
Yeah. So
They
you
go
don't
red, don't they?
Yeah, and some people take Pepsid to like try to combat it. But anyway, so she doesn't drink it all.
I'm sorry he's so uncouth. I apologize.
So uncultured.
So like by the time that I met her, my game had to be so on lock, because there was none of that like you're getting drunk. It was just like me getting blind and her there like. So like I really had to have my stuff on point by that time. So I'm glad that I didn't meet her earlier, because I wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
you
met her at the right time.
Exactly.
There was a girl. Yeah, there was like this model in Ireland, really tasty. Didn't drink either.
Really tasty.
But I was not at the point where I
No.
should have met her. But I was at the point where I did meet her. And I was like 18. She was slightly older, but I remember like
you were just blacked out, and she was.
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
but then the next day, she was like, "Do you remember this happened?" And I was like,
"Nope."
Like I don't want to be told about it. And she kept saying it, and eventually I was like, I can't hack this at all.
That's one of my least favorite things.
Being told.
Like back in the day when maybe I wasn't as good with moderation with alcohol, and somebody's like, oh yeah, like I'm like, oh dude, come on.
Yeah, I know,
like not that I didn't remember it, but like please don't bring it up. Like
That means they had a bad night.
Oh yeah.
Or they just don't have anything to talk about but you. And
That's what I mean.
Losers.
Not fun.
Yeah, I did also on the flip side maybe is when you're wondering, just say if I'm at your house and I'm like the next day, oh, was I an idiot? Was I being a cunt to that person? And I hit you up and you don't reply. So no, I spend the whole Sunday staring at the wall being like,
yeah,
I was. Peter doesn't like me.
When really the person was just like sleeping.
They like, it's such a narcissistic thought too that I'm like,
well, that's the other thing is like people aren't, for how much you think about what other people think about you, they're not thinking about you
At all.
Like
it's
don't kid yourself, and not you in general. None of us are that memorable. You know what I mean? Like they might be like, oh, that was weird, and then just moved along. Like,
I know. I like to stew.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's brutal. That's
Irish guilt.
Oh
Very
yeah,
Irish thing to do.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because I presume it's Catholic. Fucking confessions. You've done
Why do
something
we
wrong.
like elongate it? Why do we want to fucking?
Yeah.
That's what happens to me if I smoke like the wrong kind of weed. And then,
Oh, you just get paranoid.
yeah, the sativas or whatever. You like smoke it, and like I'm like, all right, let's take that problem from 3 weeks ago that's completely solved and bring it back up, or a month ago,
I did that
or a
for
year
yeah,
ago.
that's unreal. I'll never
Can't.
smoke that. Yeah, that's especially a Sunday night. The monkeys are coming up. You're
Only the
just like,
sleepy stuff. I only need the sleepy weed. That's
There's no wrong time. There's no wrong weed. There's wrong time for weed.
no, there's wrong weed.
But I want to go back to the
The
dating.
dangerous stuff, alright.
I also feel like what else? Dates. Yeah, hiking. I feel like hiking isn't great.
Do you push yourself on a hike date with a bird? Do you?
No, you just hit Laurel Canyon.
Like if I go on a hike with one of my pals, we're kind of half working out. We're sweating.
No,
We're
you do a
moving
leisure.
fast.
Yeah,
Passing
leisurely.
people out.
Yeah,
Do you do that with a bird on a date?
No, you do a leisure hike. Yeah,
Leisure
it depends
hike.
what
Yeah.
kind of bird.
it's
Like,
also
if
a
she's
bit.
a really fit bird, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
like you're like, all right, cool, I got to keep up.
It's also a bit like
Yeah, fair.
the hike is long too. Like if it's the first time you're meeting,
Yeah,
it's very awkward off the bat. You're like, oh,
yeah. I think
God.
coffee is perfect. It's just like a lunch date because like you're like, oh, I got some other shit to do. Like setting
get out of it.
potential endpoints for yourself that are easy outs is amazing because then you can exit any time gracefully. There's nothing. Oh man, I got this meeting. I gotta go do some work. Blah blah blah. It's easy. Cool. I'm done.
Oh,
so like
yeah.
having a potential end, but then if you really like it and it's going well, you can delete that end without them even knowing it existed.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be like, oh, you know what? I actually emailed them. I'm gonna push it back a couple hours. Like I'm down to hang out. So setting endpoints.
This guy.
Yeah,
even
it's
at
good.
night.
I've done all these things, but he like hasn't like he's got written them down somewhere.
No, because it's not innate for us. I feel like we're not great daters in Ireland. I think.
I feel like I've done a lot of the things he's talking
Yeah, you've
about.
done them, but it's good to be
Yeah.
aware of them.
He's very
You
aware.
guys are just
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to shack up?
Yeah, you want to pump, and then you pump forever.
But it's the same thing with a night date too. Like say you go to a dinner and it's like 7 or 8 p.m. whatever, an earlier dinner. Like you can set up a potential thing after, like before when things were open. You're like, oh, my mate's playing something like. And you can say like, oh, my buddy's DJing this thing, but like I don't know, I gotta suss it out, like whether the guest list, like there's another spot. So like I'll check back at the end of dinner. And then there was always a spot.
Yeah.
If the dinner goes well, then you go, oh cool, actually yeah, we're both good. Or you ditch, you go to the thing, and then you meet somebody else.
That's the thing too. I way before this. See, this is why we have you on here, Peter, as a resident date expert.
Dude, I love it.
Guru.
Dating Damon Shaman.
I talk about this a lot. And also, there's the other thing I was saying, not to you guys because we didn't talk about this, but it's like, so your whole life, you date, you talk to girls or guys that you prefer, and you continue to get better and better and better. You're in your prime. You're the best. Like you figured out your style, your hair, everything. You're the best. And you're like, all right, cool. Like everything's figured out. And now I'm the champion. And then you shack up and then it's gone. So not that I don't want it to be gone. I like being in a relationship, but I'm saying like all of that talent kind of just goes to waste. So now I impart that to friends that
there we go.
are needing of it, and I give them guidance because I'm like, they need it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have all the skills, but I don't like, I can't use it on my own.
Yeah, you're not utilizing them.
But you can use the same
He
shit.
outsources them. I like it.
Yeah, you can use the same skills in business in different ways, though. Like it's dating and business are pretty similar.
No, that's why when I met him, you're very shaman-like, giving good advice. I was like, all right, I just crashed this guy's house. But I remember telling him, I was like, oh, you're my friend now. He was like, no.
No, I said I wanted to be a friend. I said when I looked at you guys, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like these guys, and then I actually did.
But yeah, all right. What are date scenarios? I feel like you're good at articulating.
My girlfriend's even better, dude.
Is
she does podcasts. She also hosts the Coachella live stream, like interviews
Oh,
with
no
artists
way.
and stuff. She works for Twitch now.
All right.
But yeah, she's like, dude, you can put her in front of a mic, and like I'm decent at this, but she's like everything she says is like perfect.
We got
like,
down for next
could,
week there now. Put her
the
down.
thing could, like,
Tell her she's coming on.
The thing could like cut off, and then like she's just like eloquent. Everything.
Really?
she said- dude, it's amazing.
Actually, do you know what? I remember you were telling me about your girlfriend, and I was sitting there being like, I'd love to rob her.
Of her talent or her money?
I like off him.
Yeah.
All right.
I told him that. I was like, what?
Did you say romp or rob?
Rob.
Oh, either way.
I was like, I told you that.
I'll
I was
take it
like,
as a compliment.
oh yeah, I was like, wow, she does sound amazing.
She is. And now she's away this weekend, so you won't meet her this weekend, but next time.
Oh yeah, the way he was telling her, I was like, oh yeah, that's the kind of girl you do want.
Yeah.
And then I remember being on a date one time with a girl, and she was like, oh, who's this girl that you like are friends with on Instagram?
Oh God.
But she's
Don't
like,
ask.
she's so beautiful. Yeah, I know that. Like,
Just what?
yeah.
Don't ask.
But I had like a thing with her before, and then it just petered out. I think she went to Tulum, and that's where you lose them all.
Yeah, and then Diblo follows her, and you're like,
yeah.
yeah, we're done.
Tulum is the Bermuda Triangle of women I'm texting.
Swear to God,
Especially
my
LA
ex-wife went to
women.
Bermuda like a couple of months before we got to DIVO or CE.
Oh.
Like, hey, Bermuda, Tulum.
Bro, it's like I know you had service. Don't play with me.
Oh yeah,
You
they
were-
just disappear, and it's like they're like, who are you?
Yeah,
again?
you were at some jungle house set till 10 a.m. and like found yourself. So it's not
Whenever a
with
girl
me.
too goes to Tulum, I'm just like, am I dating a whore?
To be fair, if a girl does go to Tulum and she's still texting you throughout, and you know what? This is the other thing, adding to the dating things. This is how you know someone really likes you. If they hit you up when they're doing something fun and say that they wish you were there, that's how you know it's real. Because anyone that's, say you're on tour, you're sitting in your hotel room, you're lonely. You know, your people that you hit up just widens up. Like you hit up, you reignite the old girl from 3 months.
Yeah.
Like you're open like this. But if you hit someone up when you're doing something fun, or if they hit you up when they're doing something fun, they wish you were there. That's how you know they're actually thinking about you because they're already having fun. But then they hit you up and you're like, wow. So that's also something. If you really do like a girl and you want to tell her that you like her or show her, when you're doing something really fun and she's not there, send her a photo, hit her up, and be like, wish you were here. And she's like, oh my god,
Yeah, that's it. Now we're
This
talking.
guy.
Because I'll tell you why, I got sucked.
The internet should know all these secrets, dude.
Here's another thing, because like
He's like
because
all
I
true.
used to get girls a lot over holiday periods. Wow,
when they're all
great
sad.
point. When they're at home and they're bored.
That was the best. The hometown bar.
No, not that. They would go home. All right.
Different chapter.
Just say I'm chatting to someone on Instagram, and they're not into it. Then they go home, they're bored. I would
Into
not.
it.
I would get that they're bored, but they'd be way more. Oh, haha! They'd like. I'd reel them in.
Responsive.
Yeah. Then they'd come back, and it'd be like, "What's up?"
Yeah, well, you're a new man. After that, you've established connection. You've juiced in some stuff, you know.
But it is true. Like, yeah, if they're. But then they're having fun, and you don't hear from them.
Well, you have to
again.
catch them right after the period of boredom, or else you lost them. So you have to catch them in that small week window when things are happening, and you can still bond over that. Like,
Yeah,
my family's so crazy. My uncle, like, ha.
He touched me.
Damn, it took this long to go there. Damn.
You do, you do have a little window, isn't it?
You have a
And then
window.
if you don't get it within that small window, she accepts an invite from someone else.
She's gone. She's gone to
Moved on.
But in my head, I'm like, but we were texting.
Weeks
Nah, you had to catch him at the right moment. It's all opportunity, man.
Yeah, I know. That's funny though, because in my head I was like, there's a connection there. I like to fool myself.
Yeah.
One time a girl asked me a story, and I was just like, I think she was at home for Christmas, and I was like, it's a long story. It was something like, it was about me ruining Christmas. I'm not going to tell it, but
Sounds normal.
it was so long. I was like, if I tell you, I just have to tell you. She's like, yeah, just text me. She's like, I'm just in bed chilling, bored. I realized now, not really engaged, just bored off her tits at home. I sent her I was telling her a story, but like, just, I'm good at texting.
Yeah.
And it was like cutting it up, pasting it, storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
It was 72 texts.
She loved it.
She just said LOL.
Consecutive text.
Yeah, LOL.
Did that we got back? Oh Jesus! I would have broke the phone.
And I was like, I know I was out of text, but I couldn't stop. I was like counting, being like, I was at 50, and I was like, I gotta finish the story.
Delete her.
Yeah, and she's like, that was it. The
lost.
magic was gone.
So the take
funny actually.
the takeaway point from this whole conversation is that if there's a girl that you think might not be that into you and you want to start talking to her, don't start till right before there's a period of when she's going to be really bored.
Oh yeah, it's a good plan.
Because if you start too early, she's like, oh, fuck this guy. I don't want to talk to her.
I've got it.
But if you start talking to her right when she's going to be really bored, you might capitalize on that. Boredom.
I think the moral of the story is don't ask a comedian to text you a story.
Yes.
That'd be awful.
Voice notes, bro.
Voice notes. That's
Chicks
what they're
love
made for.
voice notes too, especially in Europe. You guys are from Europe.
Oh.
That's one voice note, 72
There
texts.
we go.
Plus, they can hear
There
how funny
we
you are.
go.
and stuff.
Yeah, a friend of mine was telling me about Tinder, Irish fella, and he was saying another first date advice. He's saying he only voice notes them on Tinder.
Better
because
flirting.
they love the Irish accent.
Oh, I used to say like my accent's wasted online, and now I realize voice notes are the way forward.
Yeah, and then also the cool thing about voice notes is it keeps them wanting more because you send the voice note, it kind of disappears, so they can't scroll through the text and see what you said.
This guy.
Dude, it's a little ridiculous.
There we go.
I fucking love it,
Voice
dude.
note.
Jesus, yeah. All right, voice notes. Because yeah, it's the pumping side, not to be crude.
Pump away.
It's the,
Trish music.
it's the
Single man.
it's the dating side where I'm just like a lot of what's the point. It's actually not knowing. It's knowing what you said, but it's also been like it seems like more effort. I know you got to go on a lot. Bad dates are funny to me.
Yeah. Well, you're also like kind of guy that's like better. I was always better in person. I think you're probably.
Yeah.
You sound like you're good at the texting.
I'm good at
stuff,
texting too.
but you sound like you're better in person, like where you can get the like thing. So like I think the voice notes has a little bit of the in person vibe, so it can help a little more because I don't know. I never had the patience. Like even when I was single, like in the Tinder and stuff, I literally was on it for like a week, and I was like, dude, I don't have the patience to talk to these chicks.
Another app, an extra app to
Bro,
communicate on.
my old roommate,
Instagram me.
the Tinder king, bro. This fool, like,
Really?
He all night he'd be messaging, and like he was very successful, but also he invested a lot of time.
Oh yeah, it is like a chore.
It is. I couldn't do it. I was just the in person kind of guy.
You
Like,
know,
I met a girl. I'm not gonna say that.
If you meet a bird at a bar or at a
saved
coffee
you
shop
there.
now,
He
that's
saved
the
you
old
up.
fashioned way.
Yeah.
That's the old fashioned way.
I meet a girl at a train station or something. That's way better.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Train station.
No, yeah.
That's where you met his bird right now. That's
One
why he's
time.
saying that.
But like also, I feel like the fact if you want to know, you want to get a full picture, not a naked, but you want to get a full
Yeah.
because you don't want to meet up and be like, oh, you have a beautiful face.
Dude, also because a lot of people, they have that like text game and then like they're lacking in person.
Oh, that's
So,
an
like-
unbelievable
So
gulf.
like I would always prefer to like, I mean, you can meet someone by texting or something, that's fine, but like having the in-person game is always the W, because at the end of the day, like, you know, especially if you're gonna date someone or live with them or marry, whatever, you're sleeping next to them, looking at them in the face, like that's always the in-person game for life.
Yeah.
The texting is only the very beginning.
That's my
Yeah.
next question. Sorry to take a question.
No, go.
But like, how do you, at a first date, where and how close to the front of your mind is that question of where the fuck is this going?
Oh yeah,
that's
Oh no, it's the
Like
same.
the longest distance you can see it going, you have to at some point you're thinking about that on the first date, aren't you?
Yeah,
at some point.
The point, the important thing is to think about it, but not dwell on it.
Of course.
Think about it. Take a mental note.
This guy.
Look at this. Look at
Guru.
you look at the girl or guy or whatever you're into, and you say like, you know, oh, they kind of, maybe they have aspirations, or maybe they don't have their own thing going on, but to me, it's like at least they're passionate about something. Like, dude,
For
if
sure.
you're like, I paint or I create sculptures
Yeah.
with my pubic
Yeah,
hair.
sexy
Yeah.
enough.
At least-
hold on now. I said sexy
No,
before you said that.
I
At least
agree
you're
with that.
at least you're passionate about something. And it's like at least you can kind of, maybe they're not the most as poppin' as you are, or maybe you're more poppin' in work or business or life or whatever. But it's like at least they have things going on. You can see, you know, and they're a good person, and like, you know, you're attracted to them. Like that's cool. And then after that, you go. You throw it away. You
Yeah.
don't think about it.
This guy thinks a lot about these things.
And
No, but here I agree with the
Everything you
passion.
say.
Having zero passion or like talent almost in anything. You're just like, oh, what are you doing?
If somebody's not passionate about something, not only do I not want to like have sex with them, but I don't want to be their friend. I don't even want to talk to them. I don't even want to waste time.
I agree.
Like,
I
dude,
agree with
you
that.
could literally be passionate about picking up trash on the fucking beach. If that's your
that's
passion,
fair.
that's
Super
sick.
Yeah,
The ocean's
true.
dope.
That's
Nature's cool. Like, if you're not passionate, I have no time for you in my life. Because
Yeah.
I don't, like, if your only passion is to, like, you know, when I was single and you meet people in LA and, like, you know, some party girls and they're like, oh, I'm going out. And, like, oh, I know so-and-so. And you're just like, I literally don't even have a second for you because I don't even you could be passionate about like putting on nails and you like gel nails and like maybe you're not doing it as a business, but like maybe you really like you take
A genuine
pride,
interest
and you
in
take
something.
pride
Yeah,
in something.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you don't take pride in something, you're not passionate about something, I don't care about you and I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, because I feel like if without that, there's no depth.
Do you think girls know that that's attractive to men?
I don't think people that are passionate about things do that because it's attractive.
I know, but like on the dating scene, do you think they know that that's what guys actually do?
Yeah, that's why they put like hiking and like yoga in their bio.
Yeah,
that's true.
False yeah,
when
that can get whitewashed then because everyone likes yoga. And
to be fair though, like there's a lot of people like people I grew up with. Like one of my really good friends from high school, he like does like finance and stuff, and he's like really successful, and he is passionate about that, but like he's like a window into kind of like a other side of life where he is he's not passionate about, like he always tells me, he's like, I'm envious of you because you're passionate about art and like you have like a real like kind of purpose, and like he's been figuring out his like way slowly, like since he like started his own business, and he does like this like finance shit that I don't really understand, but like having like he's passionate about like going to the gym. Like, he's not passionate in the sense of like being an artist.
Yeah.
But like,
but he's got something.
But he's passionate about his rig. He's passionate about being like healthy, and like he's passionate about being a good person.
You know what I think that is? I think that's when your actual personality comes out, when you're doing something you're passionate about.
Oh yeah, true.
And people are attracted to that.
Yeah, you step up.
You're like not thinking about what people think when you're doing something you just
You're
enjoy
like,
doing.
I like coffee.
Yeah. Well, that's why LA is so cool, because so many people are here, and everyone always has so much shit to talk about LA. They're like, "Oh, LA, the traffic." Oh. I'm like, whatever, shut the fuck up. LA is cool because there's a lot of people here who are passionate about things that aren't like necessarily traditional, and they came to a place where other people are passionate. So it's like, how cool is that? Like, why talk shit on things that like just because people talk shit on things because they're afraid of like opening themselves up to failure most of the time.
And astrology, that's bullshit.
I have another good question.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one about failure.
Perfect. You would know a lot about that.
Yeah, it's good. But like, I'd say one weird thing. I don't know if this is the same for you, if this is an Irish thing or just me being stupid.
Both.
I'll be. And that's the answer.
Go. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's probably the answer to the question. Like if you're on a date with a girl, sober now, drunk I'm grand, because my brain is clicking more. But sober I'd be overthinking.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, did you kiss the girl?" I was like, "Are you mental?"
What do you mean?
Like they're like, "Do you have a good date?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Was she?" And I've noticed some girls sometimes would linger at the end,
waiting for you to kiss them.
He's talking about kissing on a first date. We had this conversation before. I don't think like it's not at the front of my mind, but it's not out of the question like you seem to think it is.
All right, I'll tell you a secret. Ready?
Here we go. The shaman.
Here's the secret. So if you're feeling that awkwardness, like of like maybe that you think that they want to kiss you and like, but you don't really know, and say you're sober, which you should be fine with, but you're Irish or something along those lines. Here's the thing.
People are gonna look at this and be like, "Is he 12?"
No, here's what it is. Ready? You go in, you like, all right, goodbye, and it's maybe you feel something in the air. You're like, I don't know, I can't read it, but whatever. You go in for the hug, okay? You hug them like, oh, it was so nice. And then as you pull away, you keep your face kind of close to theirs. And then when your face is like in the point like this, ready? It's like passing ships in the night. So your face is here, their face is here because everyone hugs left. So look, you pull out of the hug like this, and then just as your eyes start to see, like you can tell the vibe when you're that close, and then you kind of go in.
You peck on the exit, or is it a kiss?
No. You pull back slightly, like, and you have like.
Do you know what I'm asking?
Like look, like ready to the mic, ready to the mic.
Practice on own.
No, look, ready to the mic, ready to check the mic. This is it. You're going for the hug. It's so good to see you, and then you pull back slightly, and then.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
that was a good example.
That was a slight pullback.
Imagine the mic just threw himself at you.
But
the mic was like
tongue
this.
just came out at you.
But also like that's also the point, because like all the talks about like Me Too and consent and stuff, like if you're having a good vibe with someone,
there's a moment I know
and you're pulling back, and like they're also like accepting the embrace and everything like that. Like
here's what I would do.
You can sense the vibes.
I'll do
Mark's like this, like, all right.
Oh, we're very close, aren't we? Oh, your face is close.
I would go like this, right? Goodbye. Oh.
She's taller than you. How tall is she?
This bird? Like, I was actually like, is that a
6'7".
bird? Is that a bird? And she's just like.
She's like this. And you're like, I wonder if she wants me to kiss her. And she's like,
nah, you're doing it for the hug. You're checking as well.
But dude, that's the way. Now you know.
No, yeah, that's good.
Damn, I should. Damn, this is good.
This is good.
Forget photography.
Yeah.
You're a people person,
Dude,
Peter.
dating advice.
You're gonna be
advice.
you just need a ponytail. You're like Tom Cruise in that
My
movie.
pony, dude. I'm only like 2 months away. I'm growing the ponytail right now. I literally always wanted one.
I wouldn't doubt it. I used to have one. It was good.
You did.
A rat's tail or a ponytail?
Ponytail for long. My hair used to be like down to here.
Damn.
Good.
Knee high to a duck.
Good work. Good work.
Knee high to a duck.
All right, here I'm sweating. All right, that's the podcast. Good work.
All right, that's the podcast.
Yeah, we did
Time
it.
to go.
That was good.
Time
Good
flew.
to go.
Whoa!